you're killing me, little boy. Hi, baby. What you doing over there? Good girl. You coming? You feeling okay, baby? I'm gonna go inside to go potty. I'm gonna go inside to go potty. Oh, that's terrible. Oh. What are you doing? Try to eat me. You're so cute. What are you doing? Are you pooping? Don't poop it. Good. Just a second. Just a second. Oh, I get it all over me. All right. All right. Yeah, you ate this one close to you. You hungry, little girl? I don't know if you can hear them growling, but I'm trying to work on them sharing a little bit better, so that's why we're eating all off the same plate. I don't think Nat is feeling well, because whoever is going directly into the litter box every time, which seems to be Nat, has been having tummy troubles. So she's been eating very slow at meals, so I might take her out and let her eat on her own once these other two ruffians are done. Yeah. I don't think her tummy's feeling well. I don't know why it could be. You're all doing the exact same things. Sleeping the same and drinking the same. And so ideally, these guys would be eating about 1 can and a little bit more of kitten food every day. So I feed them 3 times a day and split it into thirds. And then I'll give them a little bit of an extra one that I'll just spread out over a few days. Which I'll feed them that right at the end of the night so that they're not hungry in the middle of the night. And it's a nice little treat when they have to get their ear mite medication. So if you've seen me put them in a little t-shirt burrito, that's what I'm doing. I'm just putting a drop in each ear so that they hopefully don't have ear mites, because I don't know that they did, but their ears were pretty dirty when they came in. So just to be safe, whatever was going on there, they give you something that's like an antifungal, antibacterial, and anti-viral, so it'd kill anything. Okay, now I am going to take Nat out into a little side room because these guys are going to eat all her food if I don't. So this is Nat. She's a lovely chocolate and white color. She is our most friendly. Take your time. Ready to say hi? This is Wanda. She's got some orange in her. It's kind of hard to tell the light in here, but she's kind of calico. But she kind of just looks like marbled. And then our last little boy is Clint. And according to Rob, this is what Mama looked like. And he looks black on screen, but he does have some like striping. Like he's brown with some black striping in there. Really, really dark brown. So beautiful. And now he's going to go off screen because I won't leave him alone. So their hero origin story is they were on an on-ramp, and my husband was on his way somewhere, and he saw little Wanda here on the wrong side, and Mama and the other kittens on the other side. So he stopped and tried to grab her and take her over to the right side. He got her there, and she bolted right back across. She was really scared, so she was scratching him up and everything. He tried to go get her again, and she ran into some like really tall grass that's on that part of the highway. And he couldn't find her, so he called me and he was upset. And I know how it feels to like try to save an animal and not be able to do it. So I was like, you know what? I don't want him to be thinking about this for months the way that I do when something like this happens. So I'm going to go out and see if I can catch them and, just make sure they're okay. And if they've got Mom there, maybe I can go there and nobody will be by the highway, and so we'll know they're safe. And then I got there and I'm looking all around and I can't find anybody. I think Nat's crying about being in the closet. And I go into the grass and I can't find anyone, and I'm kind of brushing it down. Yeah, she's not gonna stop crying. You're gonna go to her, so. Will you come out, baby? You have to eat it right now. Come get to your food. Matt has also been feeling really sleepy today and warm, so I'm wondering if I might need to take her in. That far. There we go. Babies, I know you smell the food, huh? Usually they go potty right after they eat, but they also just woke up from a nap, so I think they've all already been. Actually, when they're really little, Mama will lick them to make them go to the bathroom right after they're done nursing. So they don't know how to go on their own. They have to have her help. So thankfully, we didn't have to do that. They were old enough to be able to go on their own. But I wasn't quite sure. So when we picked them up, I went back out there and I was looking around and didn't really know where I was looking, and Rob was on the road, so I couldn't really call him. And I was about to give up, get back in the car, and I looked down, and at the base of the guardrail was just a little butt like this. And so I thought, oh, they look like little potatoes. And I was like trying to be real careful not to scare them into the road or anything. And I just went and picked them up like their mom would by their scruff. And they were all pretty chill about it, except for Wanda, of course. And I got them into the cage, and I put them in the car so they'd be nice and cool. Had the air running, and then I looked around for Mom. I couldn't find her, so I hung around for about an hour and a half. Still didn't see her pop up. I had a second carrier just in case she showed up. I had cat food. I went out and shook. And then I tried to like stay out of the area for a little bit to see if that helped. And luckily there weren't a ton of cars going. It was a really busy road, but I'm gonna pull this out here so everybody can see you being adorable. It's like he knows. Come on, baby. So anyway, but Mom never showed, and we drive by there every day. I drove by a couple times later that night, still didn't see her. Like I said, she supposedly looks like Clint here, so if you're in the Findlay area, see a little baby like this, around about Route 12 and I-75, we'd love to get her too and get her spayed and find a home for her, so make sure she's healthy. I'm sure these guys would like to see her again if they could. But she'll have a much better chance of surviving without having to look after them, at least. And in the wild, say Mom has a litter of 4 kittens, only one is going to reach the age of 6 months. So thank goodness we found these guys, or it might not have ended up so well, huh? So anyway, that's their origin story. When we got them, I thought they were maybe about 5 weeks. They have all their teeth. His eyes were just starting to change color. Now, a week and 1 day later, all of their eyes have changed colors. So I don't know if where they will end up, but looks like they're all going to be probably yellowish, and then his are kind of gray. So we'll see, but that's a good indicator. They were ready and willing to eat wet food the first day, but then they had some kind of upset tummy problems. So I tried them on formula, and they were eating it right up. So, you know, I thought, well, this is probably easier on their stomachs, but then things just got worse. So when I took them to the vet on Tuesday, he confirmed that no, they're probably closer to 6 or 7 weeks, especially, you know, when we got them, they like just fit in 2 hands. And now you can see they're, even this little miss, who's the tiniest, is like a bit of a handful for 2 hands. So yeah, so they definitely are putting on weight and getting bigger. So that's good. Trying to get the food out of your hair. She likes to put it in her hair for later. All right. So I'm just gonna answer some questions people had. So people keep asking if we're going to keep them, and no, but they also keep asking if they are up for adoption, and no, they are, 1, way too young, and 2, we've already had a lot of interested people who I'm like close with and trust as animal parents. So, so we're going to go ahead and home them with them when they're ready. They're going to meet them first, so make sure it's a good fit. My niece is actually going to pick one out, so we know that Nat here is going to one particular family, but the other two, we're not quite sure who they're going to yet. We want to see who, you know, stands out when they meet them. So, but we had planned on fostering kittens once I was done with grad school. I graduated in August, but the universe said, hey, no, you're going to do it right now. And so I said, okay. So we planned on setting this room up for them. And so it's kind of been like a mad dash to get things together and make it comfy for them. Yeah, they're both going potty over there. You can hear they're digging. So that's how you know they're about to go to the bathroom. And so you need to get them into the box as quickly as possible. But I noticed too late. So anyway, yeah, they tend to do it right after they eat. You okay? So she's got a couple sneezes too. And when we took him to the vet, he said he didn't see any signs of upper respiratory infection. But since then, she's had just a couple boogies, eye boogies, and then she's been sneezing today. So I don't know what's going on with her, but I don't love it. So anyway, so we do not plan on keeping them because we would like to keep fostering kittens, and having 5 cats would just be quite a lot. So like I said, they're probably 6 weeks. Maybe this week coming up will be 7 weeks. And you can tell because they basically look like miniature versions of regular cats. They can do everything a regular cat can do. They can. Wanda, it's okay. Come here. Are you not done? I think we have a potty emergency. It's okay. You can't bury it. I'm gonna go in there. Good girl. Good girl. Yes, you don't want to dig at it. You'll step in it. Okay, good girl. Hey, crazy boy. She's still digging. Oh, so anyway, yeah, they're basically miniature versions of cats. They do everything they're supposed to. Like, you can go potty by themselves. Their ears and eyes are open. It's going to be really hard to see, but oh, he's using them. He's got all of his little teeth in there, his milk teeth, so those will fall out. By the time he's 6 months, he'll have all his adult teeth. But he can clean himself. He can run around. When they first got here, they were a little wobbly, but now they just, you know, zoom around the place. So, and they've got nice long tails when they're like 4 to 5 weeks or younger. Their tails are just like little sticks, and they just like do this when they run everywhere. So, yeah, you can tell they're really grown up fast. Nat's taking a drink, and she's got a little dribble on her chin. What you doing? You want some of this water? Here. Thirsty girl? She's watching her brother play. So Nat, when we first got them, was the only one that would come out and greet us, and we brought food in and everything. She was a little bit friendlier, a little less brave than everybody. And then next, and she was the first one I could get to like take a nap with me. She was very cuddly. And then Clint was the one warming up to me next and slowly coming out, and was too hungry to ignore me. So And then Wanda was our last little skittish baby. And even now when she'll like climb in the bed with me, she like might roll around and she purrs so loud and snuggle, but then she'll end up somewhere around my feet because, you know, she just needs her space. But she is very sweet when she purrs. He's chasing his tail in there. So they're not 100% litter trained yet, which is why part of the reason why they can't go to their forever homes yet. We also, you know, just at their first vet visit, we'd like to get them their second round of dewormer, which will be in the next week or so. We got to make sure their ears are clean. So by Friday, they'll be done with their ear mite treatment. We want to make sure they can go to the potty in the bathroom every time. Right now, we're doing about, I would say 90% of poopies in there. And then I have no way of telling how many times they pee in there because it's like cedar bedding, but it's like encapsulated in some kind of, I don't know, they're like pellets, some kind of like casing. And I can't tell when it's wet. So I don't know how many times they're going to pee in there, but I know how many times they're going to pee out of the box, and it's too many. So thankfully it's always on a towel. We've got lots of towels over there by their litter box, but they still haven't quite figured it out. And I'd like to be able to give them treats when they use the box, but the problem with that is the hard food is just too hard for them right now. And that might be maybe what's messing with Nat's stomach, is that we tried a couple pieces of kibble yesterday just to see, because I feel like they're awful hungry at meal times. Nat's sitting in my shoes. Oh, no, it's not going to reach that far. She's like, I'm cleaning myself, please. Here you go. You being a star. And then also we'd like to get them better socialized, since they, and the vet agreed with me, they probably were not born in the wild. They don't seem like they're feral. They didn't even know how to hiss until one of our, like our actual adult cat saw them and hissed the other day. So, so yeah, it seems like somebody probably dumped them. They probably saw that they were getting older and they'd have to start, you know, thinking about getting them spayed and getting to the doctor. And it can be expensive, but you know, there's always places to get help. There's no need to just drop them on the side of the road like that. But yeah, it's more likely that they are house cats and that their mama was a house cat. So they're pretty sweet, but they do get nervous around strangers. We had a friend over today, and it took them a minute to warm up. And so we want to make sure that they get some experience being around people they don't know, around kids if we can. And then we've got a friend who's got a very friendly dog I'd like to have them meet just in case. So whatever kind of home they end up in, you know, maybe not have a dog in it right now, but someday it might. So they'll be ready for that. Oh, she's using the scratch pad. Good girl. See, Nat's our little genius. She knows what everything's for, and she uses it all right away. Oh my goodness, what a good girl. I'll turn this a little so you can see everybody. What a good girl. We did trim their nails for the first time yesterday. They were all very good. They were a little bit wormy, but they didn't cry. They weren't afraid, so we're trying to get them used to things like that. Mostly so that they're good for their forever homes, but also because they were climbing up my legs when I would bring the food in, and it really hurt. So, yeah. And we also gave them a bath once they got over their tummy troubles. And they didn't like that as much, but they were all pretty good. Like, I think Nat was the only one that cried. And afterwards, she just wanted to snuggle. She just wanted me to like hold her the whole time. So at least she still trusts me. Once we get them socialized, because right now they are a little bit bitey when they're around food. They've each, like, I think Wanda is the only one that hasn't gotten me good. Because they don't realize like how much they can hurt with their little tiny teeth. So ideally when they're about 10 to 12 weeks is when they would go home. Now we got Miles when he was 5 weeks, and that was way too soon. I think it worked out because he was already weaned and eating kibble, even though he probably shouldn't have been, and he was already using the litter box. But he is very clingy and has attachment issues, and that might be because he was taken away from Mama too soon, which is why I was really hoping we could pick up Mama with these guys. But also when we got him, I wasn't working at the time, and I was home 24/7. But then we also lived with like there were 4 of us in the house, so he was never alone, and he was always used to being around a ton of people. So now it's really hard for him to be by himself, and so that might, if you see me not on camera days that you know I'm home, that's why. It's because I don't want them to get too attached to people that they can't handle being alone. So I think everybody's going to a house with multiple people in them, and 2 are going to houses with cats already in them. So they should never be too lonely, but we also don't want them to, have separation anxiety like our cat does, where he cries every time we leave the house. Then our other cat, we got at 9 weeks, and he was much more well adjusted. And he, honestly, they were trying to get him out earlier, but he had to have an eye removed, so it took a little while for him to heal from that and everything. So we will be getting them fixed before they go to their homes. I think the rule of thumb is if they're over a pound, you can do it, and they're all over a pound already. Closer to these 2 are the bigger ones, and even though she looks the fluffiest, she's actually the skinniest. They were, I think, 1.4 pounds, 1.7, and 1.5. So yeah, they could be done now, but I don't think any doctors usually do that. They usually wait till they're about 10 weeks. The only reason that Scout was neutered so early was because they had to take his damaged eye. So they were like, well, we might as well only have to put him under once and get it all done at once. So I think that was it for questions people had asked. It looks like there's only 1 person in the chat, but that's okay. I wanted to have this video done so I can put it up on the channel. It's kind of like a channel trailer, so you know who everybody is and what's going on with them. Let's see, they are very friendly. They'll let you pick them up. They'll let you snuggle them and give them kisses, and they will trust us to put things in their ear. I'd like to try and get them used to wearing collars and anything that might make them a good fit for somebody's house. So like how right now, she's not very playful, but right now if I play with Clint, he's getting much better at not using his claws, because if he does, or if he bites me, I pull my hand away. I go like this, and then I won't play with him for a few minutes. And so he's starting to learn, like, oh, if I'm too rough with her, playtime's over, so I'm going to be very careful and gentle. So I want to do things like that to help them fit in wherever they go. I don't want them to, get sent back because they were too rough, or get out and not have a collar on or anything like that. So just setting them up for a happy and healthy life. Now everybody's behind me. What are you doing? You okay, Dweller? They're actually really quiet for kittens, which, I thought maybe they were like half inside, half out, like barn cats or something, because they don't make a lot of noise. Nat will, like if Rob comes to feed them or something and then leaves, she'll cry at the door. And then Clint will make little peeps. And then Wanda has a wonderful war cry when she's attacking someone. She'll just kind of shriek. But that's about it. They don't cry for food. They don't, cry when they're lonely or anything. Yeah. She's gonna get you. They always have tons of energy after they eat, which is why I'm not too worried about Nat, because she's been playing all day. As you can see, wrestling with everybody. So if you're watching this in the future and you do have any questions, or questions about fostering or raising kittens in general, anything like that, you want to leave in the comments. Maybe I'll do another Q&A someday, or maybe I'll answer them on a stream or something, or I'll just reply to you in the comments for sure. But yeah, because if you have the question, then somebody else probably does too, because I've been getting a lot of the same questions over and over again with these kitties. So, and we would love to keep doing this. Maybe not immediately after. See, I love this. When she first came in, she looked mostly, are you scared? Potato colored, just brown. And now that she's getting bigger, her orange spots are getting bigger too. And you can kind of see she's got little stripies in there. And even Nat's got, I guess the points. She's got like darker ears, a darker tail tip. So anyway, yeah, we'd like to do it again. Probably not immediately, but we want to get this room a little bit better set up when we've had more time and funds to get it just how we would like it for optimum kitty health. Because right now it's just a really old gross carpet. So like earlier, I took their food away, or I mean they were done eating, so I took their plate away, and little Wanda here is like snuffling through the carpet trying to find any little tiny bit of food that has escaped her. And I was like, I'm sure she's like getting all kind of gross fur and things out of it. So yeah, I prefer not to do that. You want to put down like a mat flooring so that, if there are any messes, they're easier to clean up. Keep everybody happy and healthy. You're all very interested in my water. You have water. What you doing, baby? You pretty? You pretty boy? See, they are fine with drinking water. At first, they were a little like unsure and they were dipping their paws in, but they're really good at it now. They just occasionally boop their snoot in it. So I'm wondering if maybe Nat just booped her snoot too much and maybe inhaled some and maybe has some upper respiratory infection or something, but we'll take care of it if she does. Oh my goodness, what a pass. Hey. Oh, got a hiss out of her. Cornered her. Here, Wanda. Let's get out. Hey, bud, play with me. I think they're tired. It's been a long, warm day. They had a lot of excitement this afternoon. They met a new person. I was in here for a few hours, so didn't really get any sleep. Rob was in here for a few hours. Trying to get everybody their snuggles in. Their playtime. Clint is definitely the most playful. The girls will sometimes like run around and wrestle each other, but he's usually the instigator of play fights, tumbles. He's got his own tail. He reminds me of Miles a lot because Miles was so much energy when we got him at like 5 weeks even, and then just got worse and worse and worse until he was about a year old, and he wasn't really calming down. So we thought, you know, if like we're both working and he's got this much energy and he gets this lonely without us, then we really should get him a buddy. And so we got him Scout, and Scout was, you know, pretty energetic because he was still a kitten. But then once he hit a year old, he got really laid back, and that's usually when they like get into their more adult personalities at 1 year. So it can be kind of tricky getting a kitten because they may, be super cuddly, and then you find out after a year that they like only sit on your lap when they really, really want to, and then all the rest of the times they're kind of, sit 3 feet away, just at arm's reach. But or they might be super, super playful, and you want somebody that's gonna, chase your kids around, and then oh nope, they're sleeping in a sunbeam most of the time, which is like how Scout is. Um, so now Miles will be 8 next month, and he still has so much energy that Rob and I will chase him around the house a little. Like when I'm leaving for work in the morning, I'll chase him from room to room, and then we'll chase him at night when we come home. And he plays with Scout. They like to battle, and Scout has an amazing battle cry as well. But yeah, then he's still raring to go, and we're all tuckered out. So we'll see. Maybe at 8, he'll mellow out. So our cats, Scout and Miles, have not yet met the babies, except for like a couple passing. I've opened the door, and these guys have run out. The first few days they thought this was the world, and that was fine. But now they've kind of figured out that that we live outside this room, and so they've run out a few times to check things out. And this morning, Clint got out and ran into our bedroom and was running around in circles in there trying to find someplace to hide so I wouldn't get him. So you can see her orange here. And Scout came up and was like blocking the door. So I was like, well, I'll just hold on to Clint. So if anything happens, I can pull him in to safety. We don't really want them to mix too much, just in case these kittens did have worms, which the vet says is pretty common, not anything to be worried about. They are on their dewormer, but just in case, we don't really want them to mix until all their treatments are complete. And they did have their first shots too. So yeah, so it should be probably end of the week we'll let them meet. And I held little Clint up so Scout could see him, and Scout just hissed and ran away. And the whole time he was running away, he was hissing like he was so terrified of this little tiny baby kitten. And Scout is 14 pounds, so what can you do? Are you getting sleepy? I don't know if you can see that. She's just out of view. Want to sleep on her water. But honestly, we didn't even, like, the kittens weren't even hissing until they heard Scout hiss one day. Yeah, it seems like they're pretty people positive. Hopefully we can have them have some good experiences with the older cats. When we first got Miles, he was very hissy the first like 24 hours, and then the next day I caught him spooning Scout. So I think he will warm up pretty quickly, and he's really a very smart cat, so I think he'll be good at teaching them everything they need to know. And cats actually learn by mirroring your behavior. So that's how they learn to clean themselves. That's how they learn where to go to the bathroom. They just mirror what they're told. So if you're like sitting at a laptop all day, they'll climb on the laptop because they're trying to mirror your behavior. If you've ever like walked into a room and you see 2 kittens or 2 cats like sleeping in the exact same position or like mirrors of each other, that's because they're mirroring each other. Yeah. So for example, Scout has a trick because he only has one eye to like drink the water so that he doesn't get any up his nose because he has bad depth perception. So he'll like scoot his face across the water forward, and that might help these guys since they don't quite know where to put their faces yet and not to simmer in there. Their mouths are really small. So it's really easy for them to accidentally boop their snoots in the water, and he might be able to help them with that. So we'll see. And like I said, 2 of them are definitely going to homes with cats already in them, so it would be good to get them some experience with some, kittens outside their family, or cats outside their family, because they're great together, but everybody's tuckered out but you, Nat. I mean, Wanda. She's the one always trying to steal everybody else's food. Like, at least Clint will wait until everybody's done eating and then just go around and eat all the little bits. But she's like, nope. Park it down, and then I'm going to take a chunk of yours and take it off the plate so that I can eat it without anybody bothering me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. These are a lot easier to edit the shorter they are. So they will be back tomorrow morning, probably around 8, if you want to watch them get breakfast. Thanks for tuning in.